My name is Neil Chaudhary, and I'm the product engineer lead for the workforce for ArcGIS. Today, in next 30 minutes, I will try to take you all to this amazing tool for workforce introduction. So before getting there, let me quickly ask, how many of you here have not used workforce? It's the first time you're hearing about it, looking at it? That's a good number. And so this session, we will look at what is workforce, what are we trying to solve using workforce, who are we solving it for, how and where it can be used. Also, for a couple of you who have already been using workforce in past, we have some new functionalities that we have put in the enhancements in our latest release. So workforce is a mobile solution that we provide here at Esri, and this is for your field workforce optimization. So workforce allows our dispatchers or field supervisors to actually sit in a central office and look at and monitor the field work. It can keep a track the status of the work and the workers in real time. It allows my supervisors to actually plan the pre-planned as well as the sudden unplanned work and monitor them and assign them to the field workers. So there are three major roles that we will go through in the demo. The project owner, who is the GIS administrator, the dispatcher role, the guy who sits in the central office and manages this entire workforce, and then of course our most important field workers who are actually out in the field and performing and working the job for us. So let's look at the workforce demo real quick and understand each of these responsibilities for the roles and see how they fit in together. So what you're seeing right now on the screen, oh, never mind, my bad. Hey, come on, there has to be some hitch. And let's see, are we seeing it right now? Good, okay. So what you're seeing on the screen right now is the web app that is for the dispatcher. So it's a dispatcher view, it's a workforce back office. So let's imagine for the next 5 minutes that I'm the dispatcher sitting in the central office. My role here is to assign, reassign, cancel assignments to my field workers, then monitor their work, monitor the work status as well as the field worker status to understand if my worker is on break, is working, or has called it a day. Now, on the left side here, before that, there is an example that I'm showing you right now is a use case for Redlands Hydrants project. So on the left-hand side that you are seeing here is the list of all the assignments. So you can see I have around more than 260 assignments that I went ahead at the beginning of the week and created using a Python script, using automation, something if you're interested to know more. We have a separate session on Friday morning that talks just about automating the scripts with workforce. So I knew this is a planned work that I need to work on at the end of the week. So I went ahead, created them using the script. Something immediately I can see as a dispatcher, I have the assignment types. These types are nothing but the category of the work. Like for hydrants, I need maybe repair work, installing a new hydrant, these kind of categories. Then I can see the location of the assignment. In this case, it's associated with a tile ID. Then the priority of the work, some of them are high, critical, then I have low, medium, and no priority. Then I can hover on these symbols and it will show me the assignment status. What's the current status of this assignment? Right now, for example, the one I'm seeing here is unassigned. If there's a due date to this assignment, then I can see that too. On the right-hand side, what you're seeing is the map viewer. On this map viewer, you will be noticing that you have some giant circles with a number inside it. That's basically the clustered assignments. The reason we have provided the clustering option is to give a good idea to me as a dispatcher, the spread of the work. So more I zoom in or zoom out, that cluster actually value changes and gives me a better understanding. And also if I click on the cluster, it keeps zooming in and actually breaks it down to individual assignments. On a different scale, when I had those assignments clustered, I can always decide to switch off based on my requirement. So to switch off, I have this option here at the bottom, left corner on the map viewer, that shows switching on and off for the clustering. Then on the map viewer, you have zoom in, zoom out option embedded. Then you have an embedded geocoder where you can search addresses, and then an identify tool that allows you to select assignments and other features that are in the map using a rectangle identifier. Now let's get back a little bit on the assignment list on the left side again. You have the option to filter the assignments based on the type, like if it's a repair work, I type repair and search, and it shows me that I have only 55 assignments. Then I can filter based on the location or the ID of the assignment. Additionally, I have the option to filter based on the assignment status, then due date, priority of those assignments, and also the assignees. Like if I want to know that what all kind of work that is associated currently with Neil, so I can just select that, and it shows me the list of 14 assignments that are with him right now. And then of course you can clear these filters, and then there's a sort option based on status, which is right now by default, and then you can sort them based on priority, due date, and assignment types. So these functionalities actually help me as a dispatcher to narrow down this huge list and focus on the subsets that I need to work on. Maybe in next 1 hour, I need to work on only the repair related assignments. That's what I'm going to do using filter and sort options. Then I can select a couple of those assignments using the checkbox. If needed, I can cancel. I can just clearly zoom to those assignments, and it will zoom to those selected locations. Also, I can change the priority with a bulk selection from here. Like there's one high and then one's no priority. I can change both of them together right now, and immediately they both became medium. Similarly, I can change due date. And then I can assign these work to one of my working workers who is Neil right now, and they will be assigned to him. And you can see if I go back to Neil now, instead of those 14 assignments associated, now I have 16 assignments because I just added 2 more. So on the list, there's one more thing on the bottom here. You see assignment tab. Now you have another one, which is workers tab. This is just like the assignment list, this is workers list. On this list, you have the entire field workers names, and they are sorted based on their working status by default. So on the top, it's the working workers, then followed by workers on break, and then at last not working who have called it a day. You can change that sort option from default status to names, and it will get sorted into alphabetical order, followed by, if you want to see highest current load or lowest current load, that changes to do. And then let's go back to status. Just like assignments, you have a filter option here where you can filter based on name, status, and job title. So this is a good point. Since we talked about job title, you can see here on the list, immediately on the worker, along with the status, because of the ring color with green as working, yellow as on break, and gray with not working, along with that I can see the name and the title. So let's say I have Charles, who is an inspector, versus Mabel, who is a data collector. So if I have an assignment which is related to this inspection, I immediately know my best choice would be Charles, who's working, as well as his job title supports that kind of work. Versus a collection data related work, Mabel can be a good choice as long as she is in a working status. But let's assume for now she is working, and I can assign it to her. Then I have the notes that says any inspection job. So you can add these notes against each of these workers. That makes my job as a dispatcher to understand that, oh, that's great. Based on the skill set and the current status of this worker, I can decide what kind of work I can assign to my field workers. So we talked about assigning work to field workers. The example we saw with 250 plus assignments was a great example for planned work that I knew already I had to do. Now there can be situations where I have to tackle unplanned work. Now Just imagine where one of my field workers, Sam, is in the field. He was working on something planned, and he observes that one hydrant just broke, or it's leaking and it might just burst. We need to get it fixed. So he calls me from the field that, hey Neil, I see this hydrant here, it needs to be repaired. Can you create a critical assignment and get it repaired? So for that, there are a couple of ways. One, I'm really good at my map and I know where is that location. For that purpose, I go here to the assignment, creation, and drop the pin on the street because I knew based on just his phone call, this is what I needed, which is not likely the case most of the time. So you can actually drop a pin, select the assignment type, which was repair. So let's just search that. And I can assign it to Neil because he's in the neighborhood, and created the assignment. But as I said, it's not always necessary that I can do it by just assuming where I have to drop the pin. There are a couple of ways. He calls me and tells me that the hydrant number 2421 is the one that is that needs the repair work. So as a dispatcher, I can actually select that feature, create assignment, and the assignment would actually get created from that feature. This was an example I showed, creating assignment from single feature. Now you can use the identify tool and select multiple of these features. I see 3 hydrants selected. If his request was I need repair work on all 3 of them, I create bulk assignments on all 3, and you can see that 3 locations. So when I create, I will be able to create 3 assignments on each of these locations. So let's say repairing work on 3 of them, need a critical priority on them, and create. You will get a small notification in the bottom saying successfully created 3 assignments, and okay, that's not visible right now because of my filtering option. So now you can see I removed the filter. So that's a good example which we just saw by mistake, but accidentally we saw something really good. When you have a filter option open, anything that actually obeys that filter, that's what you will be seeing on the map. So even if you're creating new assignments and your new assignment for repair, and your filtering was just show me the jobs that are related to installation, technically it has created it, but on your map viewer it did not show. That's why it was a warning message that it got created, but we are not able to show it because of your filter. I cleared the filter and it was all there on the map. So we talked about creating assignments from the Python script for the planned work, for unplanned work using the feature service, then directly dropping the pin. I promise this one last way, which is really cool. You can use the geocoder. I know there's, based on the call, that I have to send a field worker and get assignment done in 1000 Pine Avenue in Redlands. I clearly don't know how to type Pine, but now I know. So this is how I get this, and I have a search result that says 1000 Pine Avenue, Redlands, California. I create an assignment and that gets the location on the assignment. So you see the address of that search result goes to the location of the assignment. Again, you can have multiple, let's say gas station. You want an inspection on multiple gas stations. You search gas station and in your map, you get X number of results of those gas stations. You select all of them just like you selected the features, and you can end up creating X number of assignments from those search results. So this was great. As a dispatcher, I could do all these roles, and my responsibilities kind of get over here now that I have created the assignment and I have assigned it to my field worker. So let's look at what happens, what does my field worker see actually? Okay, this is not good. Okay. So my field worker is out in the field, and he gets a list of all these assignments right now. You can see I have 14 assignments that are associated. So now I am the field worker who's Neil, and I have these 4 assignments right now. They are already sorted by default based on the priority. This sorting option can be changed based on distance, due date, assignment type, whether the assignment is already read or not. and etc. Something immediately you can notice on the assignment list that you will be able to see those details that I added in the description in the dispatcher mode, like the assignment type, the location of the assignment, what's the priority of the work. In addition to that, one thing that I really like as a worker here, that I get to know what's the distance from my current location to each of these assignments. So you can see on each of the assignments, you will be able to see the distance. Also, it shows the due date. So let's see this. I have an assignment now that says repairing. Let's figure out that assignment. Repairing at 11:56. So let me search that assignment and side by side show you what exactly is happening. So this was the assignment. This shows on the dispatcher view. So I will keep it on a little bit right side so that you can see both the screens. So right now, as a field worker, I open this assignment. I can immediately start the assignment here. However, there is only one problem. I live in Redlands and in a different area, and this is a different area in Redlands, and I don't know how to commute to that place because I am not familiar with the neighborhood. So instead of starting it right away, one of the functionalities that we provide in Workforce is app integrations. Allows Workforce to communicate and talk to other ArcGIS apps. So I will actually launch Navigator. And what happens is when Navigator gets launched, it takes my current location as point A, the starting point, and the assignment's location as the destination, and gets an optimized route for me to reach that location. So now I know how to reach there. Once I start the location, I will be able to drive there, and then finally I can come back to Workforce, and this is a good time to start this assignment. So now this was a repairing job. I can read the description. It said, please repair the hydrant. Definitely it would be more than that. One thing that I forgot to mention at the beginning here was you can always attach attachments on these assignments from the dispatcher view, because there might be requirements where I have a policy in the organization where I have to follow this 9 steps while repairing the hydrant. Those steps can be sometimes very big, and adding them in the description is not a suitable option. So let's say I have a pre-made PDF file that talks about those steps. I can attach that PDF file and I will be able to see that attachment here as a field worker. So now I'm ready to read that, and I have started the work. Use my hardware to repair the hydrant, and then since it was a repair work on an existing hydrant, part of my job is to go to survey 123 and take the survey of the new details that I have added. So when you launch survey 123, it's going to go to the form that has been predefined in the Workforce project, and thanks to our internet speed, it's taking way more than what's supposed to, and it's going to embarrass me for sure. There you go. So now you have the form that is already predefined, so you didn't actually have to go open survey 123 and select the form and then all those. Something to notice here, that location field here on survey 123 is already populated. It was because we could actually do that in the integration. I'm going to show you how we do it when we talk about the project owner role. But I have this information pre-populated. I fill up the other stuff. I collect the survey, and then I send it. And once the survey is done, in my mind, the work is done. I did the hardware stuff. Repairing is done. Survey is taken. But I'm a good field worker. I would love to talk to my dispatcher to double check that I haven't missed anything. So I have the option to call my dispatcher. Immediately opens my caller app, but before that, I should make sure that I pause that assignment, because I don't want to mislead any of other workers or dispatchers, to make sure so that they know that the work is in pause right now. It doesn't have to be reassigned to somebody because nobody is looking at it. So let's go back, and now I can call to the dispatcher. We had a good chat. Dispatcher lets me know that That's good, you have done it, but I have to report to my manager. So can you please take a picture as a proof of this work that you just did and add some notes of what you have done. I'll go back to workforce. I can take a picture on the field from workforce. I take that picture, takes a couple of seconds, I approve it, it uploads the attachment, and then dispatcher will be able to see that in the dispatch view, this attachment. I add the notes saying job done, save it, and when I save it, you will be able to see on the right and the left side of the screen here that as soon as the refresh happens, the notes will be added over there. You see here, job done on real time. I can resume the work, which I should have done before adding those notes. Clearly not a good worker right now. But again, you can see that in real time, the work just became in progress. So as a dispatcher, I can monitor the status of that work on real time. And once it's done, I finish it. Assignment has been removed from my to-do list. And in case at the end of the day, I need to visit back, seeing what I have completed so far, I can always go back to the completed list and it will show me the list of the completed assignments. Going back to to-do list, I have finished my job, time for lunch. I go on break, and you can see here that immediately the ring around Neil from green became yellow, and I know now Neil cannot work anymore at this point. So we talked about dispatcher, we talked about field workers. They are communicating with each other, the work is getting done. That's amazing. However, how does this all work get done? There's the role project owner, where he can create the project just using the UI. It gives them the option to create the project. You give a name, summary if needed, and once done, what happens is it's going to create the project and then take you to this view, assignment types. This is where you add those types like repair, installation, and all those. Followed by adding the field workers. You can add multiple field workers, multiple dispatchers, and you as the owner of the project is by default a dispatcher. One of the latest functionalities we added in our 2 weeks previous to now, the release that we had, adding bulk users. So you can go to the UI, you can download a template, and then the template, something looks like this in a CSV file. You fill it up with all the field workers, their details, and once you do that, you import that CSV file. It gives you an approval that yes, I have all my 11 workers that are, well, in this case I already added. So it lets me know that they are already added and we won't be able to add it. But in a project, let's say you don't have these workers, you can just add the user because it's going to become active, and then you will be able to add them in a single click here. And then finally the advanced tab, where you can do the app integrations. Navigator is by default integrated. Collector, Survey 123, and Explorer, you can add them later or right now while creating the project. Select the map that you need. You can see already one map is selected. I select the other one. Step 2, decide what kind of assignment types I want to associate opening collector with. It can be the entire project or just certain assignment types I need. I say coloring and repairing. Go to the next step. You can actually just get done here without changing anything. Or one of the requirements that you can fulfill using this step is passing certain information from workforce to collector layer. So you have the options to pass global ID, and location from the workforce assignment layer. Pass it to the collector layer. The collector layer will be from the map that was decided from step 1. Take that layer and select the fields that are present in that layer. Thing to note, only those layers would be visible that are editable, and only those fields would be visible that are text types. Add that, and then add it, and it would be showing you here in the little table that what's added, and now you are done. you will get a notification about a successful integration. Exactly like this, you can do integration of Explorer and Survey 123. So that's how you create the project. You have the option to enable location tracking, which is by default disabled. You can choose to use minimum of 30 seconds to maximum of 15 minutes. And when you create this project in background, we actually create a folder with the same name. And in that folder, we add 7 items. 4 of them are feature layers: location, dispatcher, assignments, and worker. That location tracking layer will get updated when you have enabled the location tracking. The dispatcher, on the dispatcher view, the map that you saw is coming from the dispatcher web map here. And on the bottom, the worker web map is the map that is getting utilized in the worker mobile app that you saw. Also, we create a group with the same name of the project. And this is the group where all these workers and dispatchers are getting invited and added. That's how they're able to see the project and all the integrations are working smoothly for them. So that was a quick demo of how the app looks. And so let's just summarize. We talked about the project owner role, what all they can do. And this is where you can take some pictures in case you need them later. Followed by, we looked at the dispatcher work, all the roles and responsibilities he has. And then we also saw field workers' responsibilities. We did see how the integration works. So for collecting a data, you can launch Collector. For navigating to the assignment location, Navigator. To view the authoritative data, Explorer. And to collect surveys, Survey 123. That's it. I don't have anything else for that. So when I take some more questions, you have the upcoming sessions. There's tomorrow and on Friday and Thursday. And wait, tomorrow's Thursday. Never mind. Thursday and tomorrow. Therefore tomorrow. Make sure that you have these names right. I have been notified a couple of minutes ago that the locations and the timing might have changed. But as long as you have the name right, you can always go into this app and search them. You can use the app for some feedback too. I will keep this slide open, and before somebody kicks me out, I have 2 more minutes to get some questions. Or you know where I am at the booth. You can take those questions over there too. 2 minutes starts now. There you go.
Seems to me one of the more important things in deciding who to assign to is where they're at and what the route looks like. You have no routing in there. This country's supposed to know it already.
So, what is the route for the field worker to the assignment? That's not exactly how we see it. As a dispatcher, what I see was the skill set of my worker. Does he have all the equipments? So that's the information I have already in the worker's details. If let's say I have a worker in the neighborhood, but he doesn't have any of the equipments, then there's no point assigning that assignment to him. So obviously my choice becomes somebody who is really far from that place because that's what he has to solve that problem. But at the same time, it's a very visual inspection right now where I can see that this is an assignment, and if I have an option to pick 3 workers who actually fulfill the skill set, but I would choose somebody based on the workload. And also there are some organizations where we actually try to distribute the work in a proper manner because they get paid based on that. So there are a lot of other decisions based on which we decide as a dispatcher who should I assign the work to. So if that answered.
I wouldn't agree. Unless it's critical in that day, that's the only time that makes any sense.
Hey, I agree with you. We can take this question actually more and let's see some more use cases. Probably that would help me more understand if some piece I'm missing right now. Aaron is already here. Is there anything else? I have cards here and I will be in the booth in the workforce for ArcGIS. Feel free to meet me over there or outside because I want Aaron to actually set up already. Go ahead, Aaron. Thank you.